Okay. Um, Once again, I want to welcome you back to this session where we shall be talking about project monitoring report. With this project monitoring report is important part of project monitoring and evaluation. But in here, we are going to concentrate on how this report is being prepared. At the end of the day, when you go to the field, make sure you write a report. Make sure you know what are the purpose of you going to the field. Collect evidence of what has been done from the ground. So will depend with what type of project again that you are performing or you are undertaking. You might be dealing with a construction-related project. You might be dealing with the building projects. You might be dealing with maybe dispensary project or agricultural-related project or support for orphanage project, but yeah, and so on and so on. All this you need to account for the report. You must provide a report for monitoring. You must provide advice, what has happened in the field, what changes are taking place in the field. This is important for us to know. When you look at the window right there, the aim of monitoring report, we say, is to provide updates on achievements against indicators and milestones. It's about guidance on the elements that should be adjusted. You're going to the field, you observe something, you need to advise, you need to provide guidance on what should be adjusted so that you can walk in the right path. So monitoring, it will tell you whether you are achieving, you're about to achieve or not. You see, given the indicators and the work plans in place, what is being monitored in a project? As we have been discussing in the other session, what you monitor, these are the examples. There's so many things that you can monitor. You can monitor beneficiaries' details. You can monitor staffing details. You can also monitor productivity. You can monitor project activities, work in progress. You can monitor the deadline, the work plans, any type of plans and other milestones that you have. These are supposed to be monitored. You can monitor the quality of work. You can monitor attendance records, staff attendance records. Who is attending? At what time are they reporting at work? You see, you can monitor all the revenue. You can monitor all costs. You can monitor your cash flow. You can monitor your budget. You can monitor everything that is within the project, and any other business can be monitored. You can monitor the output. You can monitor the results. You can monitor the impact and so many things within the project. But at the end of the day, you need to provide a report. What are you monitoring? So sitting down with a piece of paper, writing down what are you monitoring so that you can advise the management on what is happening on the ground in relation to the project. So this one serves as one of the report. It might be a weekly report. It might be a monthly report. It might be any type of report, but these are just guidelines. It's not the end for you to say it is conclusive. You need to get information. about the project. In here, you must get project information. With this project information, it will start with the project name. What is the project name? This is when you are starting writing. The project name is, support for orphanage. You see, and the period covered by the project report. When are you covering? From this date to that date. So you have the project start date, when it started, and also these are the things that you'll find yourself having. Project organization and description. So you will describe much about the project itself. How is it organized? And what are the key issues within the project? You describe all details based on the project plans approach. So you describe in details. The targeted group, you must define the targeted groups, the stakeholders and others. What are the objectives? You define the objective, and what are the indicators? What are the indicators? While you are writing, we have been discussing a lot about indicators in the class. And also we remember, we also discussed about objective, what is all about objective. And as I'm saying, you must not show directions, just to give you a summary, and avoid biasness. You must be neutral when writing indicators, must be neutral. And what are the examples? Oh, we have so many examples. We have so many examples of indicators. For example, it might be you are working with the local authority. Now, what should be the indicator when you go out in the survey plot? You just say number of plots surveyed, and that's it. This is one of the indicator. At the end of the day, you may use it. What are the output? The projected output this quarter. You need to demonstrate the achieved for this quarter. What are the output? So you must define those ones, the output for this quarter and the output achieved for this quarter. This must be defined clearly in your report. What are the activities for this quarter? And what are the activities that has been achieved for this quarter? And you need also to demonstrate the work plan or the work schedule. You must demonstrate the work plan, and you describe the work plan versus the estimated and the actual work plan. You go in the books, you check for the attendance records. If it is labor, you check for the attendance register, how many labor have been signing to work, and all those kind of things must be in place when you're writing the report for monitoring. So in here, you'll have to write for progress. Writing for progress, you will say what has been the impact of the project for this quarter. So you pick up some interesting stuff for this quarter, then you analyze briefly. Has the project developed as anticipated? These are things that, again, you'll find yourself having. What is your anticipation? What has been the anticipation for this quarter? Did you plan for? So you'll ask so many questions regarding the progress. You need to provide details, financial information, the planned amount for this quarter. How much was that one? You see, how much did you plan as application form for this financial year? So you again check for the actual amount received to date, how much you have received to date. You calculate the percentage wise. Reason for any discrepancies, the variancy between the plan and the actual income figures. So you'll have to come up and define the reasons why in here you have overspent or underspent. You give out details and so on. regarding the financial information for discrepancy between the planned and the actual. You need to define all the expenditure in here. For the expenditure, please itemize all expenditure arising from the project. So the following were the key expenditures incurred during the period. So you will have to explain in details. If there is any publicity, any type of advertisement, any type of public outreach, you need to speak right here. Any type of marketing activities that has been done for this quarter, you must define very clearly so that people they should understand and make a decision regarding that one. Future changes. What are the future changes to the project? So you must give out details about the future changes you think. So that is technical because you need to get deeper in the project and explain the future changes. You must be predictive, proactive in relation to the project itself. Have there been any significant changes from detail with the given original applications? So um, uh, you make a comparison. If there's any significant change from the details you compare with the original applications, then you give out the details. You find yourself saying there is significant issues and emerging from this area. This is how you describe that things should work. Was there an output for this quarter? Was there any output? So remember in our class, we define what is output and how it should look like. So in here, you just put it right there and this is the output for this quarter. So depending on the type of project, you can specify your output in terms of quarterly and provide the quarter report. Now, you will need to have conclusion and recommendations. And this is very important. You conclude based on the findings that you have seen, but again, you recommend appropriately as part of the management to take actions for the future. So again, you must sign. You must sign. You must say, I have checked and agree with all information contained with this monitoring report. So sign by, you put a signature right there, the project head, the date, and so on. See, and you make necessary attachment. Necessary attachment, if there is any field meetings that were conducted, plus minutes, you see photos, pictures, you see full budget, you see weekly or monthly report, if there's any, you see a work schedule, you must include all these things. These are becoming part of your attachment when you're writing, monitoring report. Any other evidence or report from the field, it must be collected clearly and so on. So for the moment, this should be a brief report, a brief outline for the report on how you can prepare your monitoring report. And this is the sample for the quarter report. So you can design your own for day report, for weekly report, for monthly report, depending on the organization need and also the type of the project that you are engaging with. Thank you very much for listening. I wish you the best. We meet in next session. Thank you.